I didn't want to make this video. And quite honestly, I hate making this video because I hate bringing drama online and I know how much this hurts small businesses. But things with AKD built performance have gotten so bad that it's simply inexcusable at this point. I've been trying so hard to hide what's been going on the past 8 months now and keep it off the channel, but I have no choice. And everything I'm about to say is completely the truth, only the truth. I have receipts, emails, everything to back up what I'm saying. So here it is. This K-swap has been a long-term project, and the car is at a point where it runs and it should drive, but it doesn't because AKD couldn't hold up their end of an agreement. Now this goes all the way back to January, and it has since cost me an immense amount of not only time, but I've been paying to store a car, it just sits here. I've been paying to ship axles across the country. I paid my friend just to borrow them to drive the car for a couple miles out of desperation. I've been paying insurance on a car I don't drive, and it's been a massive amount of stress, just general stress. And this is not meant to necessarily bash on the company. Again, this is only the truth. And if you have experience with this company, feel free to comment down below. Good, bad, doesn't matter. Say whatever you want. I don't know how this video is going to be perceived, but the comments are open. So feel free to say what you have to say, but I'm gonna start all the way back in the beginning, going all the way again back to January. I'm gonna show you the emails that it's not only been the time, but my exchange with Steven, the owner, has been one of the meanest and rudest customer-seller experiences I've ever gone through. Starting on January 28th, I reached out to AKD, emailing them saying, I was talking to Tony about his K20C swapped Civic Si. He referred me over to you for custom axles. By the way, I know Tony's gonna be watching this. Tony did not know this was gonna go on this long. And Tony, along with other people, were interested in this company because they had a lot of buzz going on in the community because they were working on the all-wheel drive transmission. So a lot of people are interested in AKD. And that's the interesting part to me is they present themselves as a legit, real company that is out there and they're getting stuff done. But in my experience, that has not been the case. And that's why I wanna make this video because I feel like it's very deceptive. But going on, I said, I'm doing the same K20C4 swap with the Type R trans. Would you be able to make a set for me? He responds saying, yes, I can do that. I asked for an estimate, asked for a power range. I say 400, maybe more in the future, nothing crazy. He says they're designed for 1,000, so it should be plenty overkill. Here he states in writing, sounds good, typically 6 weeks from concept to completion. And then he states a price, 1,800 is the cost. So there's your time estimate, there's your price. We talk about shipping, some of the fine details, everything. He says he can ship it. I give him the measurements. All of that works out. I pay him. January 30th, I pay him. The receipt I'll put on screen. Here it is, $1,840 with shipping. And then he also mentioned that I need to send him my half shaft. So I sent him the half shaft as well, but that doesn't happen until later. So I paid them on January 30th, but moving forwards here, it wasn't until April 5th I had to buy and source a half shaft. I bought it and I sent that to them and that arrived April 10th. Depending on how you want to look at it, you could say production started in early February, or you could go based off the time they got my half shaft, which would be early April. So either way, 8 months, 6 months, where we're at now, way out of time frame. But I sent him my half shaft, and also on April 5th, he sent me a rendering of the axle. And to be fair, this does look like the axle that would go in my car. It looks accurate to the passenger side that would go on the half shaft. Rendering looks super sick. I'm really excited. Everything looks good. Everyone's happy in the beginning. He also sends me pictures of the all-wheel drive Type R trans, which again is one of the main reasons they're becoming really hot in the community. Known for doing all-wheel drive stuff, known for working on Hondas, and then they're introducing the all-wheel drive for the new Type R. Really exciting. I'm happy. I'm like, oh, that's so sick. Everyone's happy. Everything looks good. There was a lot more to come. This is where things get a little weird. So April 5th, I sent him my half shaft. It arrives April 10th. So if you want to assume production started on April 10th, go off of that date. But supposedly they already have a concept and rendering ready. They have my half shaft on April 10th. I'm just gonna say, for argument's sake, production started April 10th. May 7th. So a few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks later, I just wanna check in, see how production's going. Do you have an ETA? No response. I messaged 3 days later, question mark. He said he can't reply for some reason, and he asked if I'm getting his emails. A little suspicious, but whatever. I said, yes, I am now. We are working on your order, switch manufacturers. The previous one is 6 months behind. Okay, that kind of sucks, but at least he's keeping me updated. I'm happy still, it's not too late into it, so I say thank you for the update. A little more time goes by, May 22nd. So we're now past the 6 week mark. Officially, they are late. I ask him if he has an ETA. He says, just waiting on the outer flanges. Okay, thanks for the update. I'm supposedly just waiting on this one part. They should be close. Okay, no big deal. Let it go. May 22nd, now June 1st. I message again. Any progress? Nope, no response. 4 days later, June 5th, I message a question mark because there was no response. Things get interesting here. He messages me from a new email. Not sure what's going on here, but your email address is blocking communication with us. I have reached out every time you've messaged us with no luck, all returned as undeliverable. I'm sorry, he has a lot of spelling errors and grammatical mistakes. You guys will see. There's a lot, so it's kind of hard to read some of this sometimes. We are working on completing your order. That doesn't mean a message every week or every other day. That means when we have the remaining part, we will send notification to you and show you the axles. So he is late and he's now starting to get a little annoyed. You can see it in his message. I'm still keeping my composure. I say, got the message, thank you. At least I'm getting an update. I'm assuming they're still not gonna be too late. A couple more weeks later, I'm being polite. I'm sorry to bother you again, but it's been about 10 weeks and the original estimate was 6. 4 weeks past overdue is pretty significant. Now look at where we are months and months later. I had no idea what was coming. I'm guessing you're still waiting on the flanges. Could you please send me a picture of the current state of production? This is where things get interesting. Like I said, we are waiting for the flashers and the flashes only. We make posts through our social media showing the parts being made, and I believe that you found us there. Can you please go check our social media so you can see the current status of Flanders Big Mat made? Again, grammatical mistakes, but he then follows up saying, literally, we posted 2 days ago about axle flags, and I think you should go and look at our post and stop expecting personalized updates. This is the message that set me off a little bit because, in my opinion, it's a little ridiculous to say that. It's now 10 weeks late. I paid $2,000 for a custom-made part, and I feel like I'm not asking for much. I want just a brief status, and I want to see pictures because he said weeks ago that they were close, so that would imply that there's something already made. I want to see what of mine he already has made, but apparently I'm asking too much. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe you guys agree with him. I don't know. Am I asking too much to ask for a picture and a status update? Either way, there's a lot I want to say here, but I let it go, and I keep waiting. Now, keep in mind, the build is moving along. There were a lot of unexpected problems with the engine swap, but I want to also say that there were times with the swap I was intentionally working slower because I knew the axles were behind and I was afraid to finish the car too fast and I wouldn't have axles. And here we are, and that's the exact problem I have today. July 17th, I've been following your social media as you suggested. I noticed on June 22nd, you posted saying axles should be in by the beginning of the new month. Is mine included in this batch? I was confused because beginning of the new month would imply beginning of July. July 17th is past the middle of the month. So I'm guessing mine aren't coming in this batch that he posted about. He follows up on July 17th, and again, he's starting to get annoyed. And keep in mind, he's way past late, and in my opinion, I've been really patient, I've been really polite and respectful. Here's what he has to say. Bro, yes, again, this is a formal email, again, a real business. This is where his tone starts to change, and I think it might surprise you guys. Bro, yes, many will be. Stop acting like it won't happen. We've kept you involved with what we are doing and have been working towards it all. Jesus Christ, man, you're really frustrating me. You keep coming to us wanting personalized updates, and I don't have time to do that for 300 people. Now, when he said 300 people, I don't know if he's exaggerating or not, but that was the cue to me that he took in way too many orders than he could. He was being greedy, collecting the money, and he can't keep up. And he bit off more than he could chew. I don't really know, but that's what it sounds like to me. But again, July 17th, way past due now. He follows up saying, as I have said, when they are done, I will notify and send pics immediately. We gain nothing from keeping products from you. Okay, Jesus. That is his response. I could have said a lot of things there, but July 17th, I let it go. I don't respond until September 20th. 2 months later, this is the point where the car is pretty much done. I'm really fed up. I'm always constantly getting questions from subscribers, my family, friends. Everybody's asking what's going on. And this is the point where I had to do something. So I emailed him. And again, this is where it starts to get really interesting. This has gone on for far too long. 6 weeks has turned into almost 6 months. I have had to delay my project repeatedly, and not having access has caused a major inconvenience. This entire experience has been disastrous for me. You make it seem as if the product is close, but time continues to pass by. Your responses have been rude and not helpful in any way. I do not see why it is too much to ask for an update when I have spent almost $2,000 and waited this long. At this point, if axles are not coming, then I want a refund or I will get my lawyer involved if I have to. He responds that day saying, "Who the hell said they're not coming? You need to be patient like everyone else." Apparently 6 months wasn't enough. I need to be patient like everyone else. I follow up saying, "Can you give any sort of time frame?" No response. So at this point, I'm really getting mad. And I wanted to try to call them. I'm looking. I don't know if it's just me. I couldn't find any public number. I wanted to call them, just have a formal conversation, but there was no number. So I decided to instead email him again. September 28th, again, I'm on this right now, and it's out of time. Like, I need to get an answer. I don't understand how you can tell me to be patient when it has taken this long. I still don't have a date or proof that any progress has been made. A lot of people are following my build, and I don't know what to tell them when they ask why my car still isn't done. I've had to make many sacrifices, from storage fees to paying to ship and borrow other axles temporarily. I need a refund or my axles now. If I knew this is what it would be like, I would have ordered from another company. Drive shaft shop. I try to keep this offline, but it's simply inexcusable at this point. He does respond same day, and get ready, this is the climax. Obviously, you don't make axles, nor do you know how much work goes into building them. Well, to be completely honest, in his defense, I don't know. And I know how axles work, but I don't know what's involved. But my issue is that he gave an estimate of 6 weeks, and he couldn't keep up with it. So nonetheless, of whatever's involved, he should have been able to stick to his word. I will get you your axles, and I would appreciate it if you keep your negativity to yourself. Now, I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm not coming at him like that. I'm simply stating the situation and what's going on, and that, hey, this is a problem. Follows up saying, "I have posted plenty of pictures of axles. Just because yours are not the ones being shown doesn't mean that they are not coming. Get ready. Period." For whatever reason, he keeps saying period, I guess to add emphasis. "I don't give a shit what progress you've made with your car. Your car's progress is not my problem. My progress is based on axles, and I'm making them." I don't think so, but again, he's getting real nasty with me. He follows up again saying, "Again, you lied. I've never sent proof they are being made or have been made. Stop lying. 4th time I've sent you pics." He lied there. I showed you guys the whole email list. There was not pics sent at any other part. In the beginning, he sent me that rendering. There was no other physical pictures of my axles. And my problem with the pictures he sends me is, okay, cool, they look cool, but these are general production pictures. I don't even know if he's getting these pictures online, if they're real or what. It could just be a random Googled picture. But when I say pictures, I want to see a picture of my order, because he said months ago that he was just waiting on flanges for mine. Okay, if he's just waiting on flanges, I want to see what's already made. Now, what I believe is that he didn't actually have anything made, and he probably still doesn't. So he then emails one more time. Like I said, when they are done, I will get you your tracking number. And that's where I left it. At that point, when I saw that email where he's saying mean things to me and he's not cooperating, I have no date, I have no pictures of my product, and I'm stuck in this situation. That's why I said, okay, I'm gonna address this online. And here we are. That now brings us to today, where this build is done, essentially. After numerous issues and engineering problems and rebuilds, the car's done, but I don't have axles. And, you know, everybody was so excited to see this finished. I miss this car so much, and I now have missed the entire track season. Where I live, it's fall, it's getting cold. I'm out of time, and the car could be done. I would have loved to get it to dyno, get it to the track before the season's over, but that's it. I have brand new summer tires on here I never got to use. Of course, there were other issues with the car, but you know, AKD is a part of it. And it's really a shame, and I'm so sorry, because so many of you wanted to see this done. And I feel like everybody was looking forward to it, but there's nothing I can do. It's out of my control at this point, and all I can do at this point is, it brings me towards my next point, actually, is I'm gonna order from Drive Shaft Shop. Now, this, in my opinion, was just a huge missed opportunity from AKD. If they were able to deliver, I would have loved to endorse it, say, hey, this product's great. There's a lot of people interested in doing the swap. They could have sold it as a kit, but no, they put me in the situation that I'm in today. And I should have gone drive shaft shop from the beginning because they've been known for a long time. They're reputable. They are the go-to company. And so the issue is, well, Tony had axles from them. He was the guy that did the swap before me. Here's his tag. He did the swap before me. He's helped me out so much with this. I borrowed his axles. I noticed some clicking and binding with them. All right, still nothing. Oh, those axles, that binding. Yeah, he was building his motor, by the way, so I was only temporarily borrowing them. And I noticed some clicking and binding. So I took the axles apart, and I was in the middle of making a video, and I had to stop and make the one that you're seeing right now. I took those axles apart, and they're pretty much toast. They need to be rebuilt. So they're getting sent back to drive shaft shop. And get this, it's been maybe 6,000 miles, a year and a half, and drive shaft shop still warrantied it. And to me, the fact that that company would take care of the customer that well speaks volumes. And it shows just how good their customer service is. So that even though he had issues with his axles, the fact that the company would help out, I'm guessing, maybe it was just a manufacturing defect, I would trust drive shaft shop. And that's why I just placed an order with them. So I don't know what's gonna happen with AKD. I don't know if I'll ever get a refund. I have the bank trying to reverse the charge. I am doing everything I can to either get the axles or get the money. I don't know if the axles ever come. If they did, I'm sure I'll get the drive shaft ones first, and I'll just maybe sell the AKD axles to someone else who wants to do the swap. It's really a shame, again, that it ended up like this, but that's the only real choice I have. And at this point, the car is gonna be sitting for a long time. Drive shaft shop says, I think, 6 weeks to build. So it'll probably be sitting at least that long until I get those axles, and that's it. So those of you, this channel is really, this build is what really started my channel and got it going. And that's one of the reasons I took it on. I use it as a way to jumpstart this channel. And it's done great, but this is the heart of my channel right here, and I can't promote it. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna start bringing back more of the car meets. I'll do some reviews and reactions, and I'll bring other car content on the channel, because honestly, I've been so consumed with this build for so long that I haven't been doing a lot of the other fun videos that I've done a few times before. And I've also mentioned before, my schedule is a little crazy with work, school, and YouTube is just a side thing to me that I do for fun, really. So I don't have a ton of time, but I'm sorry, the car's not gonna be doing anything. It's just gonna be sitting here. And in the meantime, I'll bring in other videos. And that's it. That's the situation. Here it is. Again, I don't know how people are gonna respond to it, but this is it. And AKD is not gonna like this video, but that's too bad. I have nothing to hide. You guys see it for yourself. Interpret it how you want. Thank you guys for watching and listening to me if you stayed here all the way. I have my Instagram on screen. I post way more updates on there if you want to follow along. Subscribe if you want to follow the build, see other car content. Like or dislike this video if you agree or disagree with me. And I'll see you in the next one.